Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. The number to call is 4420175. Immediately we start the program, you can pick up the telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything. Politics, religion, the war in Europe, in the Middle East, Haiti, St. Lucia, or you can introduce your own topic. The number to call is 4420175. We on Facebook, YouTube, and RealFM 91.9 and 91.5. We always encourage you to share our program. Like, share, subscribe. So as soon as we come on, you will be notified of it. Share our program and pick up the telephone and give us a call. This program is about difference of opinion. You don't have to agree with us. We encourage people to stick with the truth. For too long in Grenada, radio personalities and other individuals have been propagating that which is not true. So we decide to make a change. When truth comes to tongue, all Zandoli must find a hole. People must be truthful. We live in a small country, and generally we make this statement, everybody know one another. There is absolutely no need to deceive and to tell lies, because the truth going to catch up with you. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good.
Mr. Pierre, here in the Prime Minister saying you want to say something about Mr. How they call it? I was asking Mr. Where that man know about anything about this man that dead day yesterday?
Well, he must read something.
You can, Mr. Pierre, that's how we just give rumors. That all like rumors speaking. I was saying maybe the minister for St. Patrick West that must be right that thing about the man, because he don't know that man and he don't know nothing about that man. He don't know the man. You going up there and you saying things about the man what you don't know.
Sometimes they believe they must say things, but sometimes they could shut them out and stay quiet.
Because you don't know. That's what I was saying. I could say Mr. Tillman knows something about the man. Dr. Mitchell knows something about the man, but the man don't know nothing about the man. So I said the only person to write something for it is the minister from St. Patrick West. One write a poem for him to go and see. You don't know if he's lying, you don't know if it's true, but he's going to talk. That's Mr. Pierre.
Yeah. Well, the Prime Minister loved to be in the spotlight. And that's something he may have to learn. Sometimes it might be better if he shut his mouth. But he loved to be in the spotlight, and all we could say, may his soul rest in peace. May his soul rest in peace. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon. Hello?
Yes, go right ahead. You're live on the air, on target.
Right. Okay. So my contribution this afternoon, what I'd like to tell Grenada, there is a church that I normally go to, and the lady, she have a gift. She normally lay hands on people, and she deliver them from certain sickness that is in the body or certain witchcraft and stuff that is on them. And every year she normally does a fast and pray, and then she get a message to deliver to the people. And one of the things that she said that we should look forward to this year is a lot of mysterious deaths. There will be a lot of deaths this year, and it wouldn't be from sickness. More or less, people will just fall down and die, or people will just die just like that. And there is a guy, a pastor actually. He normally goes around all in the year, January, and he uses a loudspeaker and he speaks to everybody there. And every year I would notice that, and every time he comes there, whatever he say would happen. He is saying that the churches and them. He said that everything that goes on in the dark would come out in the light this year. He said the churches and them would be exposed this year. And everybody who is in the church in high positions and they're doing stuff inside the church there, they would be exposed. And just recently, there was a lady going around the streets in Grenville. And she was telling the people that they need to repent and they need to give their life to Christ. She said the Lord normally speaks to her and tells her things that would happen and come to pass. And she said when COVID was to pass, she went around prophesying this to the people. And she said now she's having an next premonition. The Lord is speaking to her and telling the people to pray, repent, and give their life to God because the time is short. She's saying that the water, the lakes, the rivers, the valleys, the ravines, she says she's saying all these places are filled with water. She said one disaster would take place on Grenada. And she said on the wall and the whole, she said that she's seen a lot of water. And she said that the deaths, he says it would be so devastating that Lacko wouldn't have places to put these bodies here. And we need to pray, we need to repent, we need to give our life to Christ. Right?
Color, the World Health Organization said many years ago that the most amount of deaths up to 2050 will be stress related. So some of these things these people saying is not new. Already the World Health Organization predict that some of the deaths that we're going to have are stress related. And these people that claim they have this gift, my advice to them is to visit the mental hospital. We have a lot of our young men. Help them. Go to the mental institute and help the young men there. Lay hands on them. Sometimes we have too much of Christians doing choreograph healing. They lay hand on one and somebody in the church, the person get well. We need some laying hands on the young men in the mental institute. It is not easy. It is not easy for a parent to see their young children taking drugs and there is nothing they could do about it. These individuals must work with the police. I'm absolutely certain the police will be glad to have them laying hands on some of the individuals that thieving coconut, pretty larceny, and the police know that these individuals are taking drugs. I've had the opportunity to speak to policemen. They don't know what to do. They say, we don't know what to do. Sometimes you have a run-in with these individuals, and the police say, well, this case is a minor case because you have so much charge inside already. So all these people are getting this gift regularly. I want to encourage you. You don't have to go far. Go in the mental institute. Visit the homes. Visit some of the people that pack up in the hospital and lay hands on them. Yes, we have miracles in the world. But too much of our Christians are too wrapped up in miracles rather than encouraging our people to do what is right, to help your children, to make certain your children go to school and they do well, to live better, to forgive people. Somebody asked me if I know Winston White. I said he was a humble and forgiving man. He was a humble and forgiving man. We have to encourage our people to be humble. When you hear some incidents, the family need counseling. You have a family member that died, one amount of confusion. We need these people that claim they could push their hand and heal people to work with these young people. Ask the teachers in the school. We have some children, the teachers wish they don't come to school. They wish they don't come to school. The people who are having these divine revelations, Let them go in the school and lay hands on the people. Too much of individuals, they quarreling, they fed up, they lie down and they come in and say they dream. Fella come and tell me I dreamed the last time. I say you're drinking one amount of rum in the shop. You go and lie down on bed, you say you're dreaming. The rum that following you. Some people dreaming every night to go and buy not lotto ticket, play away. If they dream and they see a mongoose, they know what number to buy. They see a rat, they see river running. We have to be more practical. We could do more in our society to encourage our people to live in peace rather than creating panic and fear with these revelations. I'm not saying you don't get vision, man. A lot of people get in vision. They say young men dream dreams, old men see vision. But these individuals that predicting these disasters, they always predicting disaster. We have so much a problem in Haiti today. It is practically an anarchy. About 70 different gangs. People are running, people pulling out the people. The president resigned. Who is in charge in Haiti? Some of the individuals who lead in the gang, they're like little children, they're making movie. As if they don't know. They're piling up evidence on themselves. It's like teenagers in big people's body with gun. We have these situations here. Sometimes we have to open our mouth and speak and prevent these things from happening. Too much of Christians want things to happen. They want bad things to happen so they could get members. You see what I tell you? You see what I tell you? Children making children. You see? And to encourage members to come to the church rather than taking the necessary action to prevent these things from happening. The churches must have musical school. Teach children to play music. You know that would help them better in school. All the evidence show that if you teach your child at an early stage to play music, the child is likely to do better in school. The child is likely to do better in school. Bring your children to church, particularly the young men, and I don't care what church. Bring them to church. Pray for them. Bless them when they leave home. Treat your man good. Pray with him. If the man and the woman in the house and the children can sit down and pray together, get the people to lay hand on you so you could pray together. Lay hand on us for us to sit down home, me and the spouse, and pray together. That would help a lot. It would help to correct some of the problems that we have. If the man and the woman could pray together. They could do a lot of things together, but they're not praying together. And if you have doubt, ask the next person you meet, the woman next to you, or your man, if they don't sit down and pray with the woman and the children. That is what we need to do. We have to do better. Some people advance the view we're not a Christian society. Grenada is a Christian society. We're not Muslim society. We're not Krishna. We're not Jewish society. We are a Christian society. We have one amount of different Christian church and different Christian religion running down and criticizing one another. But we are a Christian society. We pray. We light candle. We ask God for a change of government. We had an opportunity to go to the polls, one man, one vote, and elect the government of our choice. We elected the government that we wanted. We elected 9 amateurs, 9 political neophytes, 9 prento. and we give them the country to run. Obviously, they're going to make mistakes because they have no experience, no history in running country. None of them was involved in any serious way in the politics before and management. Now we're calling on God again. We're going to ask God for them. Irrespective of the voices saying these people have no experience. They have to go to a training school. We ignore all that. So now we have to stand the consequences of our action. But we mustn't give up. We must complain and talk and lobby these bunch of neophytes that they to go the right path. So we will absorb some of the impact of the consequences. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good day, sir.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
As you touch prayers, if I should add a little bit, as a Christian nation, which you said, which I accept Grenada as a Christian nation, there's a lot of denomination all over Grenada, different names. But I find the church is a bit quiet these days. I don't know. They're a bit quiet. When not the government create crime, but we had some serious incident just recently, and I don't hear the churches call some prayers. I don't think that have anything to do with politics. That have nothing to do with politics, because you're praying for your country. You see a late development which is strange to you. What I say, somebody and they see people say, that's small thing. It is not small. He had crime before, but not in that nature. So I don't know if it's because our leaders say church and state divided. I don't know what, you might be able to help a little bit on that. I don't know if it's because he made that statement. I heard him with my own head. I don't know if that is one of the reasons they keep quiet. But this is not interfering with any government business. So I call in on the churches to let us keep praying. Pray for Grenada. Up to Monday night, the Adventists came and do some prayer by my resident here. And was good. I want this thing to continue because I realized we had strange things happening. Also, Mr. Pierre, I really appreciate you had a very good program on Monday, because some people came and they just discussed it with me. They said Monday was very good. A young lady at the age of 35 was able to give a good view, a good rundown of some of the good things the new National Party has done for Grenada. This was good. I think this is what we have to continue to promote. Yeah, this was good. Also, the gentleman who said about lawyers, and your answer was very good by saying it's policy of government, because the NDC have a policy. It's not who rule, it's the policy. I quite agree with you. I could remember as a little boy, I was with Winston White campaigning. The late Winston White, who buried yesterday. I run around with him, and when I realized the fight was tight, because Wellington Friday was a very hard man to beat. So I told him, I said, let us go by your mother, your and father, let us go and see if they go vote for you. We went, and the mom said she don't deal with that. Religion don't deal with politics. When the result came and he lost by 1, I cried, because I work hard in the field for him. I do canvassing for him. And he told me he was a very courageous man, because he said, don't bother, that's life. He told me, he said, don't cry about it. So that's what was very good. So I had a very good knowledge about this gentleman. And my friend who spoke a while ago, I don't think the Prime Minister wrong. He was called upon as a head of state to give a tribute. I think it would have looked bad if he did not say anything. He have to say something. So I think that was not wrong. Dr. Mitchell have a long history. He's expecting he won't have a long history as Dr. Mitchell. But he have to say something what he knew. So Mr. Pierre, the program was very well on Monday because all now people telling me about it. Very informative. They learn a lot and are calling on everyone to continue to keep calling and make their point. I thank you.
Yes, my brother. The purpose, people have to develop the culture. Not all the time people are going to disagree with you. Not all the time they're going to agree with you. And you don't have to be upset if individuals disagree with you. But in Grenada here, we have to practicalize our Christianity. We have to do more. We have to do more to get results. But not because things are going the way you want, you say we're not a Christian society. None of us is perfect. None of us. All of us fall short. And I believe sometimes people have to recognize they don't want to be apologetic. That's why I said Winston was a humble and forgiving man. People have to be more humble. And we could culture our children to be humble. You have too much of our young men now getting involved in unnecessary problems. They put in a tar on their character that can affect them directly and indirectly. Sometimes the jobs that you go for require that you present a police record. And you had a police record because of one of the dumb crimes in the country, predial larceny, using obscenities, disrespecting people. And that is on your record. You want a visa, you have a scholarship to go to a university. Even to get work with some companies in Grenada, and even government security firms. Government security firms, they're asking for police record. And nowadays we see a lot of the boys can't go, so the girls have to fill in. And then you have more trouble in our society. All of us have to pay heed to that. When you see what's going on in Haiti, Haiti is on the extreme end of the pendulum. But in Jamaica, you have a number of police regions in Jamaica that is under state of emergency over the last 2 years. In Trinidad, St. Lucia have about 20 murders already for the year. St. Vincent and Grenada is not far behind. When you take a good look at Grenada, we could have an increase in crime. I notice more and more you have young men making movie with weed. Weed is illegal. So you're not supposed to go on social media smoking weed, dancing in weed field, walking around with weed on you. You are marking yourself. Weed is not legal in Grenada. You have to remember in 1979 to 1983, Maurice Bishop, who used to smoke weed and who told people to plant weed, then lock up people for weed. I noticed Deacon Mitchell going down that slippery slope. He took picture with that which look as an illegal substance. to which a weed tree in the presence of the police, diluting the authority of the police, diluting the integrity of the police, shaming the police. And the police have to always ask, well, the prime minister take picture with weed, and today I am locking up people for weed. And the prime minister perhaps answer to that would be morality is a private thing. So I envisage, I see that there will be more crime in our country. You have to get vision from God for that. Too much of our people are exiting school without a basic education. Today, the majority of people going up for license are women. That doesn't mean the men are driving you. The women get the license, the man mash up the car. Because the women don't washing car. They don't fixing tire. They just want to know they have a car. And a lot of the people that own cars, men and women, cannot maintain it. They don't work for enough money to maintain a car. Remember, the car is not likely to bring in income. The car is not likely to bring in income because they're not running taxi. So what they have is a luxurious item that causing them to lose money. They're poor. And economically, if you owning less than $3,000 a month, you're poor. You're broken. You're vulnerable. And if you have a car, you're in trouble to maintain it. And I'm not talking about your parents giving you money. I'm not speaking about they sending money given from America. I'm saying if your total income is $3,000 or less, and you have a car, you're struggling to maintain that vehicle. That is some of the challenge we have. Some people might say, you're living above your means. You have to provide for that vehicle. And then you could have a lot of tension and conflicts and arguments there. And the males worse because the males are not holding the high end of the scale jobs. So you find a lot of our young males getting entangled with the law. So we have to take this violence thing in Grenada seriously. Grenada look like a country with these social problems, and you just have to break out the scarf. Every day you hear incidents, guy pulling gun in his home, who have to run. Every day. It means that as soon as you remove the scab, you could have an explosion of crime. So we have to take that in stock. And this present government, the NDC, as I said before, is the worst group of politicians post-1967. They are showing very unorthodox leadership, very strange leadership. The utterances and the statements that they come from their mouth are very fractious. It is not building communities and it's not causing unity. In fact, I am convinced that the government is helping to increase crime in Grenada. The government is helping. By the government actions, you can ensure there will be an increase in crime in Grenada. The government is not decisive. They're hesitant. They're iffy. They're reluctant And some of the actions that they take would directly contribute to an increase in crime. And when I say that, I don't want to leave you hanging. So I want to list some of the actions, some of the things this government is doing that would contribute directly to an increase in crime in the society. From the time the government come in power. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I hope they know it's not only the rich man will put them in power, the poor man put them in power too. So I hope they know what they're doing when they have to come back. It's the small man they have to come back too. All right.
Yes, well, all of us put the government in power. All Grenadians. When you vote in an election, nobody knows who you vote for. You vote in secret ballot. So the majority of people put the government in power. All of us to blame. Some of us were quiet. Some of us was not certain, but we didn't say anything. Some of us did not go and vote. All of us responsible. Now that we have the government in power, we must try to manage the negative impact of the government. And that's why we say the government have to understand that their actions could contribute to crime. And I was going to list some of the actions of the government that I believe is contributing directly to crime in our country. Yes, caller, welcome.
Also, the little businessman on the side of the road, then we have them in power too, so I hope they know what they're doing.
Yes, well, as you say that, I believe that action taken by the government is unreasonable. It is not necessary. You are depriving people from income. Some of the people that sell by the road, and in almost all countries, in some place you have people hustling. And if you want to get rid of them, the action you're taking is uncalled for. After COVID-19, a number of little huts and shops spring up by the road because people were not able to sell their crops. And farmers make attempt to market what they have in their locality. So they might have come up with provisions, but obviously they won't come up with water and soft drink and other issues. Yes, caller, welcome.
Afternoon, Mr. Pierre. How are you doing today?
Great, man.
Oh, all right. Very nice. Very nice. You see, we all adults. We all are people living on God-created earth. Now, at the end of the day, we always come up with problems, or this is a problem. But if you come up with a problem, then you must offer a solution. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I agree.
If there's a problem, you offer a solution. Like for example, a number of people around the various communities are being removed from those areas. Fine. We all don't like it. Okay, we understand that it's a fact. But these people are earning an honest dollar on honest day pay. Okay, we have to understand that. They're not doing any harm to anybody. And they're contributing towards the economy in whatever small way they are. Okay? So the facts remain is that we see we could do community development in many different ways. Okay? Yeah, we have to offer that. So you're going to remove these people. You see there's a problem, but look, there is a problem here, and we're going to remove you, and we're going to offer you a better place. Okay? So you try to build somebody else's life. You can't just take them off. Because if, for example, a guy is doing a weed-eating job, like cutting grass, and he take the last $10 to go and cut up someone's yard to buy the gas, and then the person, when he finishes cut the yard, then the person tell him, you have to come back for the money tomorrow. Remember, that is the money that he's dependent to put food on a table for his kids. And you cannot do the person that. So the point I'm trying to make is that if you're going to take off all this amount of people, where are you putting them? Okay? So for example, you will see the people, I personally don't like it, okay? But you're removing them. I think, yes, they should be removed from there, but create another avenue whereby they can do the earnings. You could develop that same area by using 40 feet containers on top with the bleachers on that side. Do a nice, uplift the canteen area, that whole playing field. Probably, you could hand over that project to the port authority and let everyone build a decent hut by using 40 feet containers, yeah, and create a job, create an avenue for these people. You want to remove them to make the place look more decent, yeah, that is a area where the trucks normally do park. I mean, yes, every time you go there, every hour on the hour, you see a lot of traffic which has been built up. So they can clean up. Fine, but come up with a solution. Come up with a solution. You just don't remove them, please, because they have children and they have bills to pay just like me and you. And that is the income they depend on, yeah, to live and make the family life full. Have a blessed afternoon.
Yes,
sir.
scholar, and I think you have put it well. If you government give them 28 days, that look as a shotgun action. Not 6 months, not 1 year, 28 days. You have to have a policy on that. And some of these, more of these huts come about after COVID-19. You have high unemployment. The government come in and pass laws to put hairdressers and barbers out of the market. The money hairdressers and barbers have to pay is more than what lawyers have to pay. Something have to be wrong with that thinking. Something have to be definitely wrong. So individual who might have started a little hairdressing in St. Andrews or in Carrier or Petit Podo, now they have to go underground. The hairdressing is still going on, But maybe they have to do it inside the house now. You can't go outside, and as a result, you practically stifling small business. Government is the biggest employer in Grenada. I don't know if the government dumb, if they don't have sense, or if they're taking ram goat advice. Government is the biggest employer in the country. We have a business sector that is not dynamic. It's a very family-sized business sector. You have St. George's University that contributes about 20% of the GDP to the economy. So you have the informal sector and small business and the cottage industry. The government is taking action to suppress the cottage industry. You raise the price of people have to pay for barbers and hairdressers. You raise the tax on water. You raise the tax on sugar. So you seriously affect the confectionery industry. Nice word. When I say confectionery, I mean the people who making chip, dog teeth, candy, potato pudding, these little things. Red mango, green mango, red cake. You raise the price of sugar. So all of a sudden, these people business in trouble. Now you're breaking down the little tents that they have by the roadside. You do not believe in debushing. You said you're going to plant callaloo and whatever. You do not believe in debushing. So the previous government used to be employing people 3 times a year, 4-6 fortnights. Thousands of people employed. And they get some, you cut out that. Over 3,000 people lost their job since this government come into power. The government is directly contributing to some of the crimes that we have. In addition to that, the Prime Minister and many of the ministers of government, their language that they use is insulting, demeaning, and dismissive. Every action brings about an equal reaction. So you contribute to crime. The government says it's not their responsibility for guns. You have some people break in prison, break the custody of the police. You come publicly and you blame the police. People break in prison in the United States, England, all about you. So you do your internal investigation. But if you break prison, they break prison. You go blaming your officers. Well, when you blame and charge your officers, you are telling those who want to sue you directly, it was my fault that the people get out of prison. And the Prime Minister is a lawyer. So one would expect, because he's a lawyer, he has sense. But maybe that is a good example for Grenadian. Not all people that have plenty certificate have sense. They might be intelligent in the field of law, but that doesn't mean they know about agriculture. As I say that, you remember what the Prime Minister said about agriculture? I've never heard anybody, any neophyte, any prento, any agriculture extension officer, any minister from any part of the region express such dumb things as the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister said you could get rent or lend Greentel truck to pick mango and guava. You see, he has never recalled those words. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. Are you talking about the removal of the people at the side of the road? And I mean, I support it, but we support that. I want to support that they have alternatives. These people on the side of the road are contributing to Huggins, Hubbard's, Green Lake Water, a lot of contribution that these people are making. When these people come out from there, have nowhere to go. These companies also suffering. And eventually, when these companies don't get the rotation of the business, they have to eventually get rid of workers. So I'm saying removing or upgrading these people, we all for it, but you must have alternative for them, because you might see a man on the side of the road, he's struggling to make it. But the amount of money he's spending in our institutions and the place that they buy in marketing board and all these places, we have to upgrade that. Because if you're talking this, you have open a can of worms. There are a lot of shops on the side of the road that you go and use them, and the toilets is always out of order. And people are just parking on the side of the road all the time. So I'm saying is that there's a good initiative, but you have to look at the impact that it be causing our country at the end of the day. There are a lot of businesses, a country called store, bulk buy, all these places with the chicken and the barbecue, and would not be able to make that amount of money. If you're making $99 at the end of the day, eventually you come down to 65. So eventually the impact will spread across the board, where a lot of workers will have to go home because they don't have sufficient to keep them going. So I think the government look at an alternative to put these people, fix the communities, and give them areas where they can function, feed their families, and also help other people in bigger companies to survive. Thank you, sir.
Caller, I really don't know who giving this government this ram-goat advice. What the government doing is counterproductive to the economy. What the government doing is contributing to high unemployment. And the government has decided that to give people jobs is to give them handout. So they cut down seriously on the part-time opportunities provided for people. And some of their supporters say, let them starve. You know. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good evening.
Yeah, my brother.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, it is very, very embarrassing to a lot of us that these people survival, and I could tell you about the people that I know that send children, all the children to school by selling their liquor provision and liquor goodies on the side for more than 20, maybe 25 over years. And I am very disappointed. I don't know where they get this idea to move these ones. But I am saying, I am calling on Grenada, and I'm calling on the people who are involved and not involved, because all of we are involved, that we should demonstrate against this harsh decision about the government. Let them come to realize that these people are making an honest dollar. They're sending the children to school, they're feeding themselves, and they have not to beg anyone for a dollar. And if you're going to move them, I am saying, where are you going to put them? People goes where they make the money, and people are accustomed to the area. So when people know that I'm passing here and I'm getting my stuff here, when you put them somewhere else, you have to search for them. They are not popular. So it is a very wrong move. It is disgusting. It is embarrassing. It is heartbreaking to do that to poor people in our country. And Mr. Pierre, I will continue to advocate. We Grenadians must stand up, and stand up faithfully and fraudulently for this actual demise of the people on the side of the road and the people who is making an honest dollar. You're looking as though we're going to have some more crimes committed in this country, because when you do that, you're catering for crimes to be committed. You're putting people out of a job. You're making people be homeless. And when they can't pay their rent and they can't feed their children, what do you expect them to do? They can't go to school. They can't pay bus. These are very wrong. It is wrong. It is morally wrong. And there is no word to describe it. I don't know, but I am saying it's time that we should stand up for these poor people in this country. The poor getting poorer, but they're making them themselves, giving them, borrowing millions from GDP. This is wrong, morally wrong. I am saying upgrade them, leave them there, upgrade them, let them pay a little rent or a little tax, fine. But don't interfere with them. Leave them alone. That is my point. Thank you very much, Mr. Pierre.
Yeah, I think the government have more important thing to study than going and interfere with these people. The government must give this country explanation. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
Mr. Pierre, I thought a few months ago the said that church and state have separated a long time ago.
Well, the government say that?
But I heard him now say that the church part of the new organization he bringing in.
But this man just opening him out and setting.
So I wonder if the church and state come back together.
Conveniently.
You see, and that's the problem. That's the big problem I have with the Prime Minister. He say things, you don't see whether it's a mistake, you don't see whether he meant it that way. So he leave you and he go on to a new topic. And I think that's one of the problems I have with him. And I have other things to say whether I really want to get rid of the Prime Minister, but I'm saying so things he say. You leave me, we wonder if you tell me church and state are not there, and you ain't make no effort to bring back this church and state. How come now you're telling us that they ask him about the people and the committee? He can't remember them, but he remember the churches will be there, this will be there, that will be there, and so on. I've seen a lot of these things that start a tomfoolery, man.
Yes. Well, and the thing about it is, why? What is the political impact? Why do it? One of the strange things with the NDC, you always ask, what is the economic or political importance of what you do? You come hot and sweaty, you raise the price of sugar. When people say to you, well, how could you raise the price of sugar? You say it's because of diabetes. You lie. Because you're pushing white potato. You drop the price of condom. Why you drop the price of condom? Businesses would not pass on that drop. When a man come buy a condom, he doesn't see price.
Yeah, I'm concerned about some of the things he say with no explanation behind them. You know, they're sort of tomfoolery. You know.
Yeah.
That's my main thing there. You know, if you're there and you're going to be educating, let's educate us. But if you're there, you set up so much different committee. Mr. A well-known lawyer, Miss Bristol, we saw on television claiming. But we hear one case, one incident that these people have looked into. Huh?
Well, what he did is some sham. He set up these committees with some of his supporters. And they prepare to say, "Quat, it's sham boards."
That's what I'm saying. What's good for
the GDP Bank? The GDP Bank, 4 ministers, I understand, get millions of dollars on the bank.
Yeah, you never tell nobody, you never explain that to anybody. But these are the things I find that it is contrary to me.
Yeah.
I do have a problem, as I said already. What is good for the goose, let the gander have in it too. The gander wouldn't get as much as the goose, but let the goose get some too. And that is the biggest problem I have. You take out an NMP, but you're giving 2 NDC. So why not bring back 1 NMP? If you say everybody's there, you're there for everybody. So then don't send home an NMP and leave 3 NDC. Come on, you have 30 people working in Grand Bay Estate. You send home how much?
31 go.
Yeah, and you tell the nation that Grand Bay Estate is the most productive estate in Grenada. No, these are the estates that you're going to first plant with. When the people go and look for a place to plant with, they tell them the estate occupied already. Craziness.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, the Prime Minister is directly contributing to crime in our country. The actions of the Prime Minister is directly contributing to the increase in crime in Grenada. The restorative justice policy. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, ma'am.
This situation with the vendors on the side of the road will be the topic for a very long time. Now, the Prime Minister have to different countries, and he sees the same thing is happening. He can't say he didn't see it. He go to Dubai, to Guyana, he went to Trinidad, wherever he goes. Even in Haiti, we have all the problems. There are vendors on the roadside making a living. In Venezuela, the same thing. I have traveled in Canada, the same thing. I have traveled many places, and I see there is no difference. So, and the people who are doing that is same poor and vulnerable people. They can have a big building to have a big establishment, but a little hut on the road, very neat, and they do the thing. That's why when I heard about this aim they had and they spoke of what they will be doing, I say, before you do that, prepare a place for these people, and then you cut it off in boots and you rent it for them. If it's a money you want to make on them, you find, okay, they're not paying taxes or whatever there. Okay, prepare somewhere for them, a decent place with the same toilet and whatnot, and the water, so that they have a decent place, so then you charge them a rent. But on the same side of the road, there is nothing difficult in that to do. They could use the same space because the road wide enough, 2 vehicles passing, even though the people are there doing their job. You understand? Selling. You stop on the vehicle, you buy something quick. You understand? And you go your way. So right now they put them out of a thing, so not making the country more poor, and then you're calling them beggy. When they're doing that on the side of the road, they're not begging, They're offering a service for those of us who are busy. You could just stop and you buy your stuff and you continue going your way. It's contributing to the economy. So what that is the love? That is the love? Put on your thinking cap and do something different, because all over where you travel, you see it. Every country have it. The people doing that.
Yeah. Yes, and that is why I say the Prime Minister of Grenada and his team is directly contributing to the increase in crime. Because the Prime Minister... Yes, caller, welcome.
Hey, good day. How are you doing, Mr. Pierre?
Yes, my brother.
Okay, I'm just calling in to share my 2 cents based on the current topic already established. The thing with the roadside vending, as most people would say, yes, more probably consultation should be done in terms of maybe having some way to relocate the said people to continue their livelihood. One of the things that the Ministry of Health had some problem with, and anyone who go in and establish a business, they would know that you have your food handler certificate, they have the health inspectors who come to carry out the various duties to ensure that the area we have is most adequate to conduct the business. Mr. Humphrey, Chester Humphrey, had always made a call concerning the clearing up of most of these huts and them that most people would have had constructed by the roads and started off their little business. Yes, we have to understand that at the end of the day, everyone has to make their living, and at the same time, to me, more consultation with the minister, probably he might hear it and he might take that into consideration in terms of establishing or relocating maybe in the Lagoon Road if there is more room to put such and such personnel, because we had a situation, if we look at it with Mikey, there was one time when Mikey did one of his program and he purchased a coconut water by the roadside, and that took him into diarrhea, etc. in a couple of days. And there was no one to say to sue or to get any compensation from. So it's something that needed structuring for over some time. However, in terms of the people, you move people off the road one lick. I'm not too sure what is the minister's position on that, because I myself is in the same food industry, and I rent a place, a section, GIDC, I should say. And more consultation maybe could be done in terms of with the patrons who uses the area, and then try to maybe relocate them if possible, and then look at, most of us will say relocation, but then again, relocating to somewhere that could bring in the same revenue, because the Port Highway, as we can say, is flooded. Right now, if you try to go down the Port Highway, traffic is crazy down there, maybe need expansion of the road. But in terms of the people, maybe a little relocation could take place, hopefully on Lagoon Road, and then it's not just going ahead and say, as someone who's in the business, as I would hear callers saying, okay, we go ahead and then rent out the space to them. But you have to ensure that if you're renting somewhere for the people, some may not all people may want to take it.
Yes,
and if you're going to rent,
we catch you and we come into the end of our program.
Oh, so no problem.
Thank you very much for that contribution, and we want to thank all the callers who contributed. And as I'm going to make this statement, the government of the Prime Minister is the Prime Minister. He is the chief shepherd. Because we don't know you before, we weigh all your words and measure it. The Prime Minister of Grenada is contributing to the increase in crime in Grenada. I see a number of young men now making movie with weed. They're smoking weed indiscriminately. And Mr. Prime Minister, you put the police in a bind. You compromise the integrity of the police. Because the police was there when you two was making movie with weed. What you need to do is to move expeditiously and legalize weed. Mr. Prime Minister, move pronto and legalize weed. That is the best thing you could do now. You're contributing to the crimes in our society. And we want to encourage you, we want to plead with you that you are the chief shepherd in the country. Be careful with what you say and what policies you have, and make certain it is not counterproductive economically. Thank you very much.